You got challenges that you're going to run across.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned golf because I remember when I first attended Jackson State, I got there early. I was on the sixth floor where my room was, and I'm walking down the hall, and I see these two guys with golf clubs and golf shirts. And I'm like, Jackson State, y'all got a golf team? I'm like, I never thought HBCU would have a golf team. I don't know why. I don't know why I was thinking that. But yeah, I saw that. I was like, wow. Now, you also, Marvin, you've done so much, man. I guess you're just going to leave that out. But you also, unless I missed it, with the ladies flag football.
Yeah, I started a women's flag football team while I was at FAMU. We had pretty decent success over the years. We won 10 national championships. We represented the United States, out of the country, one of the best teams in America. And now to see it coming to fruition with the 2028 the LA Olympics, they're going to have flag football there.
I saw
to see this thing come full circle, it's great. But all I wanted to do at the time, and Gerald knows, he was literally at the beginning of that. He actually saw it as well. We were just trying to get the ladies who came to see the men play, try to get them involved in intramural flag football. That was the whole premise. So we said if we can put the girls against the girls and the dorms against the dorms, they like to say residence halls now. You're not supposed to use the word dorms, but the residence halls against the residence halls. And so we had Patty Foote playing, Cropper, Wheatley, and Truth, and McGuinn Diamond playing, Pork and Horn, and et cetera. And Gerald remember those, and that's really what started it. And from that, those girls are playing each other. Eventually, I got a all-star team, and the all-star team started traveling. Started winning state championships, and then eventually they started winning national championships. So I guess I've been fortunate enough, man, as I'm a coach at heart. I didn't realize that, but I guess you say coaches are teachers, teachers are coaches. I'm a coach's heart, and anytime I believe in something, I just want to learn it, be able to teach it and share it with other people, and then have those people be successful so that they can be successful even without me. And I think that's the sign of a good coach, is how good is someone when you're not around,
Right. That's true.
That's the key.
True. All right, so let's get to this, man. I know I want to ask, most of these questions will be for any of y'all to grab. But the first one, I want to go to Mr. Rogers with this one, because when Gerald, you told me about the company, and I went out, you know how people do their research at Google. That's all, like that's research. But I was Googling, and I put in BYOB, and man, all this stuff came up, and I said, dang, I didn't put worldwide movement. I didn't put any. I just put BYOB, and so one of the questions I asked you initially, Gerald, was, well, if you're going to build this huge company, why stick with that name? Because everybody's out here using it. And you had a great answer for it, but I want the world to hear what's your answer for that. Because, like I said, when I started Googling, I had a lady tell me that her insurance company kind of used that. And what made you want to use that term, and why continue?
Now, one of the reasons why we initially wanted to use the term is it's all about provoking thought. So, when people think about BYOB, depending upon your zip code, you think bring your own bottle,
right?
Bring
your own booze,
bring your own booze. So it led to us giving the ability to reach all types of people, no matter where they come from. It's just one of those things, and when you're able to at least capture the attention of people, that gives them that inquisitiveness to kind of have a deeper conversation. And it's kind of like having a good movie trailer. When you see a movie, the movie it's a trailer at 25, 40 seconds to kind of say, hey, I need to go see that. So that was the reason why we came up with BYOB, because we wanted to create an environment where when we're sharing this information, normally there's so much anxiety when it comes to money, because those conversations are not held in our households, our places of fellowship, and quite honestly, it's not even taught on our college campuses, right? So it's just getting people to have that additional conversation, because if you really understand money, right, And when we're talking about education, if we're honest with ourselves, most people don't actually go to college to get educated. It's under the pretense that if I get this degree, it's going to translate to money. So, we want to create an atmosphere that allows people just to, hey, let me take a deeper dive.
Okay. So now, if a person wants to look you up, what are they looking for? Is it BYOB Movement Worldwide? Is it BYOB? What is it? How do they find out more?
They're going to find BYOBMovementWorldwide.com is how you catch up with us. BYOBMovementWorldwide.com, because we worldwide. You see?
I got
we
you.
Worldwide, you see?
Okay. Be your own bank. Now, Miss Dara, tell us about this Be Your Own Bank, and when we say that, or say that term, what does that really mean? Mr. Rogers said it, but break it down to like what Denzel say. Talk to me like a third grader. What does that? Yeah. What does that really mean?
It's really you changing the way you think. We're on here talking about college experiences, HBCU, right? We're talking about that traditional method, and then we think about going where we can actually, like, we go to school, we get a job, right, and we are paid based on what someone feeds us. And the reality is, if I'm gonna be my own bank truly, then that means I understand how money really works. That means that I know how to create money. That means my money's working for me. And so it's really a whole mindset shift when you think about it, because you can turn the financial markets, when you're talking about 7.5 trillion, and when it was at 6.6, and before that was at like 5.3. So this market is growing, it's moving, and we speak for that's ultimately where we started from. And we offer other services and things now, but we are a full wealth services movement. But we started with that Forex, and then that's where we created the name BYOB, Be Your Own Bank. And that's really about you making the market your personal ATM machine, learning a skill set, and the thing about it is, yes, you have to learn the skill set, but when you learn the skill set, it really shifts and it pays you for life. When I think about, I was just talking to my son, and he is now a funded trader again. And, he's done another challenge, and where he's a funded trader for, again, let me just say it that way. But he's 23 now, but at 21, he became a six-figure trader just by learning his skill set. And so his challenges that he faces in life is different. It's not financial, right? And you think about when we were in our early 20s, we talking about when we were in college, our whole choice was, or our thought process, is it ramen noodles or a few chicken wings?
Right.
I got to share with my roommate.
Right.
That's not his story. That's not his testimony. That's not his struggle. His is about, what do I want to do with my life? And, because we were doing things to try to find resources, find money, find those things. But his is really something different, right? His is something different. And that's really, when you think about becoming your own bank, to be able to watch your own legacy change in your eyes, and not, we're doing this so my grandkids and their kids can have something to really change it. It's happening today. And that's really what that means.
So you all are showing people how to actually trade in the foreign stock. Is it foreign?
Both, actually.
Okay.
The foreign exchange market, and the foreign exchange market, actually, just for understanding and clarity, that's a worldwide market. Okay. And that's currency being exchanged. As currency is exchanged, there are fees and transactions and different things that go into that. And you're not buying the currency and then selling the currency. You're analyzing the market and profiting on the movement of that currency. That's what we're teaching. And just for understanding, this is not something new. Banks have been doing this. And the first bank that was established for foreign exchange trading, not just for banking, but there was a bank established specifically for this in Amsterdam 500 years ago. So wow. This has been around for a long, long time. Retail traders like us, not banks, we've been able to do this since, the 90s, the late 90s. And so this skill set is here for us now. And that's why our children will be different, where we're learning it And it's something we have to say, yes, I want to learn it, because it wasn't around when we were younger. You know, it wasn't available to us. Let me say us, because it was around. But, it, you know, for myself, for you, for Gerald, for, you know, Coach, for us, it wasn't around then when we were younger, but my children are exposed to it, you see?
Right.
And so, but we also teach stocks and, you know, trading stocks and investing, because we have somebody that teaches that as well. So regardless of your interest, but that's US based, right? That's and it's a smaller market, but that's what most people know. And there's a lot of money in that as well.
Options trading. I was on one of those training classes that is it Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
That's teaching that. Yeah. So let's not really run past that right quick, but you said your son at 21 years old was a 6-figure earner sitting at the computer trading.
Yes.
And people hear that, and the first thing they say is, "I can't learn that. I can't do that. That's those words you're using. Those are some big words." You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you're telling me that, and I think you all said you had a lady husband that was 85 and 86 years old or something.
Absolutely,
like that?
We do.
Wow.
Absolutely.
So it's not about that. It's not about learning anything, because all of us, I think I heard Ms. Dyer say this, right? Before we learned to do anything, someone taught it to us. So you had the capacity to learn anything. I mean, you know, when someone had to teach you how to use the potty, somebody had to teach you how to flush the toilet.
Give my credit. Give me my credit. No.
So obviously, you know, it's not the fact that we can't learn anything. It's the fact that many of us, because of what we've been exposed to, you know, we have to be willing to unlearn something to relearn something. And that's really what, at the end of the day, I believe personally, that if you have a desire, you can be taught anything. If you are physically and mentally at a place where you have a desire. And I tell people, making money is actually the easiest thing that we all can do, right? And when you decide to want to learn something, then you'll learn it. And fortunately enough, you know, even talking about Ms. Dyer, not only her son, but her 5-year-old granddaughter and her 9-year-old daughter, they understand this skill set now. So we cover the gamut. So you have no excuse unless you choose to remain blind.
Yes.
And it's just to kind of jump in off of what he's saying is, you know, because you got to make a decision you want to learn, no matter what it is that you're going to learn. You know, we go to college for, you know, we started this conversation out about college, and people are repping their schools and very excited about them and happy and things of that nature. But I think behind that is a 4-year minimum commitment that you're going to be there without a promise of a job. And the reality is 87% of people, right? 87% of people, or somewhere around there, I know it fluctuates, are not working in their field. So if you really want to put the spin on it and tell the truth, that's an 87% failure rate, right? But we're still going. We're still paying those fees and that tuition, and you're not working in that. So if we really, really look at it and we really, really, you know, dig behind it, is you got to say, yes, I'm willing to learn something, because you committed for 4 years. What is 12 months could change your life, right? Because it was so funny, you know, because he had been tap dancing around it, and you spoke on this on one of your personal development in the private community. I think you spoke on something to the effect of, you got to decide you want to do it. Some people are really good at just showing up. And for a minute, that's what he did. He just showed up. You know, he was on the charts. He was doing trainings. He was doing things, but that's it. He just showed up. But he made a decision one day, and he said, you know what? I'm about to take this seriously. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And it's funny because I had did a call or something, and I spoke to it, and he's like, next year, I'm going to have this accomplishment, right? And 12 months. And it was so crazy because I remember posting it on Facebook, or I did something like that. And when I went back to the training, it was exactly 12 months to the day that he became a 6-figure trader.
Wow. Well, so Mr. Green, I mean, I hear your presentation all the time, and tell us a little bit more about the company, because not only the company does that. They also do real estate training and also credit. You know, I hear guys out here all the time. People be sending me stuff, and I see on social media these guys talking about, man, for a package, my package costs this, and I'll show you how to set up your credit, and then you'll get your business funding, and then you have all this money coming in. And I'm thinking, I'm sure the way the credit is set up here, where a person can learn that all of that is in that package. But the way these young guys out here talking, boy, they make it seem like you're gonna turn this thing up in a minute, and and people jump on it, not knowing that it's a lot of other companies that a lot of places offer other things like that. So talk a little bit about the credit and the real estate.
What I'll do is talk more high level, Tony.
Okay,
why that's important.
Okay.
And then I'll let Ms. Dias, Mr. Rogers get more into the weeds about how BYOB brings it to the marketplace. One of the things that we like to say is that we show you how to make the money. Then we're going to show you how to get dressed up properly, which of course is through credit. Then we're going to show you exactly what to do with the money. And the reason we take that path is because a lot of people don't know how to make the money first and foremost. And so when you're able to go into a $7.5 trillion industry every single day and understand how the foreign exchange market works, understand that you can make money as the market goes up, as the market goes down. Once you start understanding that every single day, you literally have the ability to take out 1%, 2%, 3% or more per day. That's the key. How do you make money without trading time for money, where you just have your money working for you? So that's the one thing, is you got to get to a point where you're able to make some passive income. And that's the first thing that we do with the BYOB Trading Academy. Then the next thing we do is show you how to get dressed up properly. And the reason that's important, one, is because for your personal credit reasons, you need to understand that having good credit is based on, or having good credit is based on how much you pay to borrow money. That's what this whole thing is about. You have to start knowing how to leverage yourself. And everybody who's been successful, made billions and millions of dollars, they know how to leverage themselves appropriately, but most of us don't. Most of our people in our community, they don't. So what we do is we don't care about our credit, but we'll go somewhere and we'll buy the big screen TV, or we'll go somewhere and we'll, get the furniture and put it on layaway. We've almost been around layaway our entire lives, right? Yeah. And that's a problem, because we always tend to think, as long as I can do whatever I can to get that item, I don't care how much I have to pay on the back end, down the line. And that's a problem. A lot of people have terrible credit scores, and they go and they get cars they can't afford. They eventually get in houses that they can't afford. And so by the time they pay off that thing, and they almost never pay off the house, but by the time they pay off, let's say, the car, they've almost bought 2 cars, because the credit was so bad they were not dressed up properly. Now that's personal credit. Now you're talking about business credit. A lot of times people call themselves having a business, and they're using their personal social security number, or they're using their personal information to try to run their business. But when you understand business credit, it really is what America is made off of, right? Not to have a fight today about what party does what they do, but there's a party out there. I will give it credit. There's a party out there that is pro-entrepreneurship, that is pro-business. And see, the reason why is because they give credit 476 deductions you can have whenever you have a home-based business specifically. 476 tax deductions you get by having the proper business. So now if you got a business, you have it structured properly, now you can get funding. Now you can use other people's money to help make your business work and make it run. And then the last thing is 90% of people who become millionaires, 90% of millionaires in America, they literally have real estate as a part of their portfolio. So it just makes sense. If you live in a country where people are doing something and they've been successful doing it, why don't you do it as well? So that's why, to me, the major 3 prongs, I'll say there's more prongs that we have and are growing every single day, but the major 3 prongs is the Trading Academy, show you how to make the money, show you how to get dressed up properly with your personal credit or business credit, and then show you exactly what to do with the money through real estate. And then last but not least, we're not talking about it right now, but of course it's trust. Show you how to protect your money, how to properly protect your money so that you control everything, but you own nothing. Control everything, but own nothing. And that's the process through which the BYOB movement works. Now, like I said, the devil is in the details as far as how the BYOB movement does it, but that's the reason why those prongs, because that's true wealth. When you're talking about a wealth services company, that's the way in which we teach and educate people on wealth. Colleges, universities, most places, as Ms. Dyer was talking earlier, they teach you how to work for someone else. No one is ever teaching us how to create wealth. And that's only because the educational system was created that way. So I don't like to knock. That's not my testimony, right? I don't knock colleges and university. I just want people to know the reason you went there is because somebody was giving you a little bit more knowledge so that you don't necessarily have to work with your hands. You can work with your head. That's really what college is, right? Because that's supposed to be the differentiator, right? You literally are typically working in an office space, white collar, versus working outside, being a blue collar worker. And that's the difference, but you're still doing the same thing. So the same way you got your plumbers, electricians, carpenters, the same way you got your chefs in kitchens, etc. And sometimes people say, oh my God, no, I went ahead and got my degree. Well, your degree just brought you inside the building.
Yeah.
Right. So your degree just taught you how to work for someone else, but nobody ever teaches you how to create wealth. And that's why typically we just pass that same information on to our kids, how to go and get a good job, how to interview, how to make the resume look good, how to do these things to kind of prop yourself up. But it's not teaching you what we like to call and refer to as wealth building skills. And that's the difference with the BYOB movement.
Wow. Make sure that you like and subscribe and hit the all button and all that kind of stuff, because we're going to have a lot of good interviews on this podcast.